ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmadi Guru Pad Padma, Nityala Prashta Jagat Guru Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Trendy Swami Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddha Das Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. Today we are celebrating Mahashivratri in Tirupati, and we just did Nagar Kirtan in Mangalam area. So, reading from Śrī Bṛhad-Bhāgavatāmṛtam Chapter 2, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Text 188. Muktau svatattva jnanena maya pagamato hisa nivartate ghanananda brahmamsha anubhava bhavet. Muktau, in the liberated state, swa, of his identity, tattva, of the truth, jnanena, through knowledge, maya, of the illusory potency, apagamataha, because of the departure, he indeed, saha, brahm or delusion, nivartate, is removed, ghana ananda, intensely blissful, brahma, of Brahman, amsha, as a part, anubhavaha, experience, bhavet, there can be. When the jiva attains liberation by knowledge of his true identity, his illusion about his connection to the material world is eradicated. At that time he experiences that he is a particle of the all blissful Brahman. The Bhakti Shastras say one attains liberation by realizing his true identity as pure spirit. This knowledge puts an end to his delusion, that is forgetfulness of his real nature, and frees one from the illusion of Maya. He then experiences, I am a part, amsha, of that supreme spiritual entity, Brahman or Bhagwan, who is by nature all blissful. One should understand that the conception expressed here is that Brahman and Bhagwan are one. However, when one attains liberation by just realizing the identity of the soul, myself, is indeed to be a part of the Lord, the happiness he experiences is only partial. Although bhaktas are also parts of Parabrahman or Bhagwan, by their bhajan or serving the Lord in love, they achieve divine happiness, bhakti sukh, by experiencing the unlimited sweetness of his lotus feet. This is how devotees of the Lord are distinctly superior to those who are merely liberated. Verse 189. Swasadhananurupam hi phalam sarvatra siddhati atah swarupa jnanena sadhe mokshe alpakam phalam. Swasadhana, with one's practice, anurupam, in accordance, he, certainly, phalam, a result, sarvatra, in every case, siddhati, is affected, ataha, therefore, swarupa, of his form, as a tiny spirit soul, jnanena, by knowledge, sadhe, the goal, mokshe, of liberation, alpakam, bestows a tiny, phalam, happiness. It is seen everywhere that one obtains a result according to the practice he adopts to achieve it. Thus, the liberation that is attained by understanding one's spiritual nature affords meager happiness. Now, to further strengthen the idea that there is scant happiness in liberation, the Bhakti Shastras speak 3 verses, beginning here with Swasadhan, giving examples of mundane processes of achievement, sadhan, and goals, sadhya. They say in this world and in the next one achieves results according to his sadhan, or the means he employs. For example, a knife or scissors cannot cut certain things that can only be cut by a large, sharp axe. Similarly, the jiva may become liberated by realizing that the soul is a particle of Brahman, but happiness attained by that liberation is utterly insignificant. One can only become partially happy, never completely happy, by performing sadhan for a goal that is itself incomplete. Verse 190. संसारयातनोद्विग्नैरसहीनैर्मुमुक्षुभिः बहुधा स्तूयते मोक्षो यथाद्यौ स्वर्गकामिभिः. Samsara of worldly illusions, yatana by the torments, udvignai by those agitated, rasa of taste, hinai bereft, mumukshubhi by those desiring liberation, bahuda in many ways, stuyate is glorified, moksha liberation, yatha just as, dev heaven, swarga kamibhi by those desiring, tormented by material existence, troubled at heart and bereft of spiritual taste and relationships, seekers of liberation take its shelter to extinguish the fire of repeated birth and death. They regard liberation as the ultimate aim of human life, just as those who aspire for heaven consider heaven, impermanent as it is, to be the pinnacle of happiness. Shri Gopkumar may ask, but why do some people say that the ultimate pleasure is to be found in liberation? The Bhakti Shastras reply in this verse beginning with samsara. They say, those who praise liberation do so because their minds are tormented by the material world, which is saturated with the pain of birth and death. In this condition, deprived of the sweet taste of transcendental affection, rasa, they never enjoy that special object of affection that melts the heart with love. Because such persons cannot taste any object saturated with sweet transcendental love. The fire of material existence, samsara, burns their hearts. To escape that suffering, salvationists take shelter of liberation. Although they consider moksha to be the epitome of happiness and praise it in various ways, factually such happiness does not exist. For example, even though heaven is full of miseries, such as rivalry, degeneration, and insecurity about one's tenure there, those who aspire for heaven consider it to be the ultimate bliss. Similarly, those who aspire for liberation consider liberation to be the highest degree of happiness. Text 191. Sukasya tu parakashta bhakta vevasvato bhavet Tanmaya Śrī Bṛhad-Bhāgavatāmṛtam Canto. Sukasya of liberation, too indeed, parakashta, the highest pinnacle, bhakto in devotional service, eva certainly, swataha spontaneously, bhavet, there may be, tanmaya, which are identical with him, Śrī Bṛhad-Bhāgavatāmṛtam of his resplendent lotus feet, sevinam for the servants, sadhana with their practice, uchita in accordance. In reality, though the unalloyed devotees are fully dedicated to the service of the divine lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan, indeed, they automatically experience the ultimate limit of happiness that is suitable for their means of devotional service. By bhakti of Sri Bhagavan, one quite easily experiences paramount happiness corresponding to one's devotional practice. To explain this, the Bhakti Shastras speak this verse beginning with Sukasya. They say the devotees are eagerly engaged in loving service of the divine lotus feet of the Lord, and by dint of this experience, the highest level of happiness naturally arises. As a goal, sadhya is directly related to the means sadhan to achieving it, so the results devotees achieve accord with their spiritual practice. Text 192. परमातिशय प्राप्त महत्ता बोधनाय हि पराकाष्ठेति शब्देत तस्यानन्तस्य नावधि. Param Atishaya, supreme preeminence of that joy, prapta, attained, mahatta, the greatness, bodhanaya, in order to comprehend, he indeed, parakashtha, ultimate limit, pinnacle, iti thus, shabdeta, it can be said, tasya, of that, anantasya, of the limitless, na avadhi, without limitation. This happiness reaches the ultimate limit of greatness and none can surpass it. To explain this with certainty, the phrase the highest degree, parakashta, has been used. This happiness is infinite and limitless. Saying bounded happiness can never be boundless, Śrī Gopakumar could raise a doubt that the word parakashta, meaning extreme limit, which is used to describe that happiness, indicates that this happiness has a limit or boundary. To refute this idea, the personified Bhakti Shastra speak these words beginning with Param. They say that happiness is the highest, nothing exceeds its greatness. In order to incontrovertibly convey the supreme magnificence of this happiness, the word parakashta has been employed. In reality, though this happiness is not bound by space or time, it is infinite and limitless. Text 193. Tat sukham vardate avikshnam anantam paramam mahat natu brahma sukham mukto vardate sima vadyataha. Tat, of that bhakti, sukham, joy, vardate, increases, avikshnam, incessantly, anantam, without end, paramam, supreme, mahat, great, na, not, tu, however, brahma, of Brahman, sukham, the happiness, mukta, in liberation, vardate, it increases, simavad, in a limited manner, yataha, as. Devotees experience that supremely great infinite happiness of bhakti in perpetually increasing ever fresh ways, but the happiness of Brahman is bounded, and so liberated souls do not experience it in these ways. In this way, it is demonstrated that the happiness derived from devotion is far superior to the bliss of Brahman realization. To explain this, the Bhakti Shastra speak this verse beginning with Tat, saying that the happiness of serving the Lord with love increases at every moment to higher and higher levels. Śrī Gopakumar may point out the phrase Tat Vriddhi, Tat Vardate, meaning that which expands or increases, seems to indicate that at times that happiness may also be confined or limited. The Bhakti Shastras explain the bliss of bhakti is infinite and unlimited. Although it reaches the ultimate limit of greatness at every moment, devotees still experience it to be ever new, ever sweet, and ever more excellent. However, the happiness of Brahman realization is different. It has limits and cannot develop to progressively higher degrees of bliss. Therefore, when those devoted to liberation say liberation alone is the ultimate limit of happiness, it is they themselves who have determined its limit. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpataruvesya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah vaishnavebhyo namo namah vaishnavebhyo namo